Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. We're in Manitoba. We just unloaded. Got to our destination last night. Slept for a good solid 7.5 hours or so. I feel well rested anyway. It was enough sleep. Welcome to Flatland, Manitoba. Kind of going uphill a little bit, so you can't see super far, but behind us you can see miles and miles and miles. So we are on Highway 10 just north of Beausevain. Headed up north towards Brandon, although we're not going to go through Brandon. We're going to take a very bumpy bypass or alternate route because it's much shorter than driving through Brandon. Shorter distance and then higher speed limit too. So yeah, everything was frozen solid on that load. And of course, all the bungees have metal on them. All the straps have metal on them. And I need to wear gloves with fingers and not big bulky fingers. It has to be fine fingers so I can get those straps. So I've got 4 sets of decent finger gloves. And I kept just trading them. Take off 20, 30 bungees, come back in, swap them out. Tell Jess to throw them underneath the vent so they dry out. Then come back and swap them out over and over and over until I had everything off. Took all the bungees off of one tarp first, took the tarp off, folded it up, took the straps off. That way the forklift could unload that part of the load while I was working on the next load, so it was very efficient unload time. Even though it took me longer to untarp than normal, very efficient. Worked out absolutely perfect. What's that? It is cold. It is very cold. I've got the heat almost cranked all the way up in here, and it seems to still be cold. Manitoba drifting snow. Yesterday we got to drive with wind all day. Today we're going to be driving against wind. Most of the day we're going to be headed westbound. Right now we're headed northbound. So that means it'll be even colder in the truck because the wind is going to be blowing right in. Every little gap there is, it'll be cold air coming through. Yeah, it's said if your dog runs away in Manitoba, you can still see him running away 3 days later. It's flat. So this one is for Pops and all you Michiganders. This is farmland. What you guys live in is a forest. This is farmland. You cannot call what you guys live in farmland. There are a couple of farms spread through in the forest, but this is farmland. In fact, the municipality is called Grassland Municipality.
It just really changes everything.
This is farmland. This is what I think of when I think of farmland. It's just field on field on field. Any trees that are there are man-planted. There were no trees here. When the natives still ruled this, it was just buffaloes and prairies. And crazy, crazy grass fires. There were no trees. Trees were all put up as shelters from the wind along fields so that all your topsoil wouldn't blow away. Back in the day when they didn't do direct seed. Now they do direct seeding, they don't need the shelter belts anymore. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of these runs. I thoroughly love these flatland runs. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I have no idea where we're headed now. My instructions were head west. So I pranked dispatch a little bit. Last night I got a message to head west once I was unloaded. So I called dispatch today morning and I told them, well, you just said head west, so I took my own discretion which highway to take back west. I took the yellowhead, which would be a huge detour. Just silent on the other end, and all of a sudden he goes, what highway are you on? I just started laughing away. Just don't do that to me in the morning. That was kind of funny. It's worth it. Totally worth it. I don't know if he thought it was worth it, but for me it was worth it. So thanks, dispatch. That was fun. Next time it'll say head west on highway so and so. Right over here, I want to turn right. My soul, my life, everything wants to turn right over here. We're going to go right. Family and friends live that way. About an hour and a half that way. And we would have visited them if I hadn't, rolled the truck on the weekend. That's my biggest regret of the whole weekend, not being able to turn right there. But we'll fix that in the future run. I'll keep pushing dispatch to have another run this way. Oh, you're now hot? I cranked the heat all the way up and now she's hot. I'm not hot yet, but that's because the wind is coming from my side. Yeah, there's no snow here. I mean, a tiny bit of snow. If you own a snowmobile here, it'd be hard to find places to snowmobile except for right along the side of the road by the ditch. The fields are... Well, there is no snowmobiling. There is no trails. A lot of snowmobile owners here are going to be having a very disappointing winter. The only reason the ditches have snow is because it's a little lower, so all the snow kind of settles in the ditches. Fields have been blown empty. So that's not going to be good for moisture content for the farmers. They're going to be able to seed very early in the field or in the year, but they're going to have to really plant crops that need low moisture content type of crops, because if they're not going to get more snow in the next month, there's going to be a bit of a drought this year. Guess they don't have to worry about the Red River flooding. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's going to be a stormy type of day. And this drifting snow across the road isn't fresh snow, it's just snow from the fields and ditches blowing across because it's so windy. It goes from one ditch to the other. No, most of the time it doesn't switch back. Manitoba winds are usually come out of the northwest. Right now they're coming straight west, but Manitoba winds are usually northwest. There'll be the rare occasion there they will switch around, but not very often. Definitely looks like a snowstorm type of day because of how much the wind has picked up. It's quite a very bumpy road. Manitoba roads are very bumpy for a very good reason. Because it gets so cold here, the frost heaves, and you have such a short season to fix these highways. Manitoba roads are notoriously bumpy. They're definitely bumpy. I'm really glad I got this camera, because or else this video would be unwatchable. That's how bumpy it is. If we were shooting this with that GoPro, it would be bad. Like, the camera is just shaking everywhere. I'm sure the video will be a little bit shaky, but that steady stabilization, optical stabilization in this camera is amazing. A lot of hydro poles in the ditches here, so must be replacing some hydro lines. Further down on the road, there are actually hydro poles on both sides of the ditch, so maybe even adding some hydro lines. Oh, there they are. Both sides. I didn't realize it was that close. It's funny that somebody's had to put out flags of exactly where to place the hydro poles. Be careful when a big rig passes me like that, because with all the wind it's going to suck me right in. 60 kilometers ahead. There's a little valley coming up here. Raise my seat up a bit. Oh, it is snowing a bit. It is snowing. Cool. Yeah, it is snowing a bit. Oh, I got a message from dispatch. My prediction is it's going to say load in Elko tomorrow morning. Glenwood? Wynwood. Load in Wynwood. Okay, that's a little further. Wynwood to where? Christina Lake. Well, let's see if they can get it right this time. Is there a PU number? Oh, good. At least we have a pickup number. That's the run last time that they gave us the wrong load. So we should be able to load that tomorrow around noon. Drop, see if we can get it unloaded tomorrow even. And then after that we're probably getting a load at Kleshnikov. Okay, past the construction here.
At least you can get a load before you go over Kootenai.
We get a load before we go over Kootenai, yeah. We won't be going over Kootenai Pass empty. Now, we've passed the construction. Are we allowed to resume speed? Oh, there's a 100-kilometer sign right there. Okay, cool. Let us resume speed. Even empty, you have to fight to dig up this hill. The only hills Manitoba has is always the valleys. More kilometers north, and then we turn west. Well, guys, don't want to bore you guys here too much longer. It is flat. Whoa, we are on the shoulder. Sucked me right in. That's okay. We'll just stay there for a second. Wait till the shoulder gets less of a lip. It looked like a lot of people have hit the shoulder in that section because there's a deep little rut in the pavement there, or in the gravel. And that's the trick. If you ever hit the shoulder, don't yank back. Just stay on the shoulder, stabilize, and then pull back on. Here in Manitoba, there's a lot of gravel shoulders, and if you yank back, you are gonna wipe out. And lose control very quickly that way. Anyway, you guys have a great day. If you enjoyed this Manitoba snowstorm episode, it's not really a snowstorm. There's a little bit of snow. The visibility's still great, but I can dream, right? I could use a good heavy snowfall. But yeah, I'm enjoying today. Enjoyed yesterday. I love these highways. So much fun to drive. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back in the mountains tomorrow. Have a great day. Great Wednesday.